These days, the Democrats are the war party.
The Democrats, often seen as the party of virtue, support the war industry and its good wars despite their enemies being evil. They have become shills for corporate America, weapons manufacturers, and the Pentagon, with no weapons system or war being too costly or unfunded. The current fiscal year's military spending exceeds the Biden administration's request, with $858 billion allocated. Historian Arnold Toynbee argued that unchecked militarism leads to empires committing suicide. The Democratic Party once had a wing questioning the war industry, but this opposition disappeared with the anti-war movement. The Progressive Caucus, including Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, has not voted against the billions of dollars in weaponry sent to Ukraine or the military budget. The opposition to the perpetual funding of the war in Ukraine is primarily from Republicans, with some conspiracy theorists. The Democrats, including nearly all 100 House Congressional Progressive Caucus members, line up for endless war. This lust for war is dangerous, pushing the U.S. into potential wars with Russia and China, each nuclear power. It is also economically ruinous, as the military monopolizes capital, driving the U.S. debt to over $30 trillion and servicing it at $300 billion a year. The New York Times reports that military spending next year is set to reach its highest level in inflation-adjusted terms since the Iraq and Afghanistan wars, surpassing the budgets for the next 10 largest cabinet agencies. The Democratic Party has resisted challenging the war industry. The Democratic Party's decision to take corporate contributions wiped out any distinction between the two parties in terms of war. The Pentagon and arms industry influence public opinion through public relations campaigns, films, Hollywood control, and commercial media dominance. Military analysts on cable news are often former military and intelligence officials who work as consultants to defense industries. Barry R. McCaffrey, a retired general, personally profited from the sales of weapons systems and war expansion. Lobbyists from war industry businesses pressure Congress members to vote for the Pentagon budget to protect jobs, keeping elected officials in bondage. This pressure, along with the media's belief that opposition to war funding is unpatriotic, keeps politicians in bondage and relies on weapons manufacturers' donations. Seymour Melman's book Pentagon Capitalism highlights the destruction of domestic economies due to militarized societies, including billions spent on weapons systems, renewable energy, and infrastructure deficiency. Melman's Permanent War Economy suggests that the federal government has spent over half its discretionary budget on military operations since World War II. Military-industrial establishments are seen as corporate welfare, with systems sold before production and cost overruns charged to the government. Military-industrial companies like Raytheon Technologies have received significant contracts. Tech giants like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Oracle have been awarded contracts for cloud computing and Pentagon contracts, allowing them to provide global cloud services for the military. This has led to a permanent war economy, with foreign aid to countries like Israel and Egypt requiring them to buy weapons systems from the U.S., a circular system that undermines a free market economy. The U.S. supported a 2014 coup in Ukraine, triggering a civil war and resulting in over 14,000 deaths and 150,000 displacements. The Russian invasion of Ukraine was instigated by the escalation of Ukraine's war on the Donbass and the Biden administration's rejection of proposals from the Kremlin in late 2021, potentially averting the invasion. The invasion of Russia has led to U.S. and EU sanctions, causing inflation in Europe and crippling industry, particularly in Germany. This has forced Russia to pivot to Asia, Brazil, India, China, South Africa, and Saudi Arabia, creating a new world. Liberals' opposition to a Democratic Party primarily focused on war can be seen as a defeatist, as in Fyodor Dostoevsky's Notes from the Underground. Choose carefully, because I believe that these individuals are trying to provoke a third world war. Thank you for watching.